Yeah, man, people, welcome back to the channel. As I don't know, Nicardo Media House out here again, providing you with yet another reggae boy content. As you know, the two games, crazy things happen. So, I've given my rundown on every bits of corner. I try to give in the reggae boys fans a lot of details, yeah, on the team, on the performance and all of that individual brilliance, So, I was reasoning, with an individual this morning, and one of my brethren, and we were chatting about, the players them that got left out, player like Leon in his players them who got left out in that first game, that Leon Gray, Boza, Trivante, Pinnock, Bell, you name it, and the players them who got left out of the squad like Jonathan Russell, Kevin Lambert, Javier Brown, you can name it, Junior Flemings, all these players, got left out, and Mikel Antonio, it's going to be a hell of a job, for Coach Hallgrimson. Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a job, because when you really look at it, will he stick to his guns and play the same three at the back? Yeah, will he stick to his guns and play with a winning team? As you know, that team that played the last two games is brilliant. It was excellent performance. It could a lot of loopholes here where we can get a lot of improvement, but compared to where we're coming from, it's excellent performances. So looking at it, will he stay with three at the back? Will he stay with the double two pivots in the midfield? Will he, play the three up front? Will he go back to his natural 4-4-2? We don't know what really running through the coach mind, but I know, different teams, will bring different technical work, will bring different tactical work, will bring different style of play out from the reggae boys, So going into that game, knowing that, it's going to be not much as quality that we expect, that we came up against the US and Panama team, Dominica and Dominica Republic, more likely, those teams going to play a low block, especially Dominica Republic at the national stadium, so maybe it's going to call for a different style of play. But look, you just cannot, we're going to start things off on the back line. You just cannot take out Deshaun, Michael Hector, Joe Latibody, as he played his best two games in the black, green and gold shirt so far for the reggae boys. So look at it, Pinnock and Bell, two major pieces that missing in that back line. Yeah, a player that can play left center half, and this system, will suit Luton, not Luton. This system will suit Amari Bell, who play for Luton Town. Yeah, it will suit him more because he played in that left centre back for Luton Town. Yeah, he can play a wing back, as what Greg Lay is doing right now. Pinnock, he used that 3-5-2 system at Brentford. He played that left centre half. He played that, three at the back or two at the back. He always played that left hand side, as he's left footed. So guess what? It suited those players really well, and it's glad to see when those players come back, we're going to have depth in our squad. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of depth in our squad, especially in that back line where we're going to play three at the back. And one thing I would love to have probably another experienced player, or we can add another youngster, where he can come in sometimes and, get that experience, getting that exposure, in that national team. I have a name that, I'm going to call, but soon I will get to that really shortly. But when you look on the right hand side, you have Dexter, you have Javier Brown, you have Tavon Gray. Many people said, criticizing Tavon Gray. Look, remember, Tavon Gray is just 21. You have a long way to go. You have a lot to improve on. So I just don't want us to just bring in players and just fling them out of the team back. I want to keep the same squad, keep the same energy. So players can improve. And also hopefully they get in a lot of games, for their club team, as well as building up to this game. Gray only played around 2 games, because he was injured the start of the MLS season. So maybe he's a little bit rusty there, but I know what he have showed in the 2 games that he have played. He have a lot more quality, and he can play the right back position a lot more better than that. So I'm expecting a lot more from Tavon Gray. But next up, our number one, top boy in that right back position. That's our starlet in the right back position. Yeah, so he is our main priority in that right back position. So I don't see much trouble right there. But I think the depth is okay. As I said, we have 3 young players. Yeah, Javier Brown, someone who have been around the team for the last couple of years now. Dexter, is proving his talent more and more to coach Hallgrimson. Tavon Gray yet to prove to the Reggae Boys massive that he deserves to be one of the main man at that right back position. And yeah, the three at the back, but it's going to be a hell of a choice to get back Pinnock and Amari Bell in this team, because those three guys that played in the center half position, Hector, Latz and Deshaun Bernard, it's hard to drop them. So let's see what he's going to do. But I would probably go into the two World Cup qualifier games with the same players and give Amari Bell and if Amari Bell and Pinnock more rest, especially those two players. Their team is in the relegation fight, and as soon as Amari Bell come back after the international break, he will throw right back into the mix for Luton Town. And just give him that time at the end of the season, going to that World Cup qualifier and rest them for Copa America. But the midfield, it's all missing. Would say probably Kevin Lambert, Jonathan Russell was missing out of that midfield. Many people still arguing about Tariq Magee to get back into this team. Many people calling for Tariq Magee to get back in his team, but I don't think there's much, decision there to make. He's really pretty clear of what he wants in that midfield, especially, with Nanalo doing the best of what he can do right now, getting better, more maturity showing in the player quality. So, I think it's really straightforward in that midfield, but, I would love to have a little bit more addition in that midfield position, especially depth-wise, so maybe, a player like, Daniel Johnson can come in those two World Cup qualifier games that, team's going to play a low block with Casey Palmer or Akira Anderson. He's one for the future, and I love his energy in the game that he came on in against the US. I love his energy. He's really good, so I think, in those two games that coming up, we want to play a more creative player. Want to play a more creative player as we're going to come up against a low block teams. So probably put more creative players on the pitch, as I can, different teams bring different style of play, from the opponent. So let's see what Coach Hallgrimson will do, but I don't think there is much really to think about in that central midfield position. But when you think about it now, the wing and the number 9, that's where the problem will lies. That's where the problem will lie, because we don't know what he's going to do. 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 3-5-2, 3-4-3. What he's going to do with his flexibility, So let's see what's going to happen. But when you look, Demari Gray, that's his natural position on the left hand side. Leon Bailey, whenever he's in the squad, he's always going to play on that right hand side. Boza, Mikel Antonio, who will he trust more? But you have a Ronaldo Cephas, you have a Jamalo, you have players that can fit in. Man. But to be honest, I would love to see the three at the back going into the World Cup qualifiers and the Copa America. Just try to use it more, getting used to, getting more accustomed to it. I think, when you a team that kind of lack a certain midfield qualities, players that especially can get on the ball, a 3-5-2 is a really good formation to play, so I think it's really suit us really good, especially with our center half that we have in the back line, really good on the ball, have a lot of energy. So I think 3-4-3, that's a formation that we can go with. But again, Mikel Antonio, Boza, who will he trust in that number 9 position? As I think we should stick to the guns with Boza, as he's much younger, he's much fitter, he's less injury prone. Mikel Antonio, you just never know what's going to happen. You can't put all Mikel Antonio eggs in one basket, as you don't know if he's going to pull out at a very crucial time. So look at that. What I want to talk about, try to rotate players. Rotation will be a very big thing when it comes on to the World Cup qualifier game. We can rest a few players, especially leading up to that Copa America, that we want to prove to the CONMEBOL teams that the Reggae Boys is up there and we are coming. And we want to qualify for the World Cups, but you could be a little bit more flexibility in your team decision and how you line up. You could give a few players a little rest. Come on, Dominica Republic and Dominica, there's no doubt about that. We going to drop points. We're not going to drop points against those teams. We have too much quality to drop points against those teams. So when you really look at it, rotation will be a big thing for Coach Hallgrimson. I think that's one of the things that he needs to get better at. Game management, and how he bring in substitutions, how he rest players, how he shape that starting lineup for the best opponent. So he's getting there, he's really getting there, trust me. But game management and substitution, that's where he needs to try to get a little bit more improvement as soon as possible. But look, the next thing, we're going to start to play back some games at the office. We're going to start to play back some games at the office. And when you really look at it, the office is not the office anymore. Remember, 98, the build up to 98, the build up to 2002 World Cup qualifier campaign. The office, we didn't lose a game at the office in the 98 when we qualified for the 98. I'm going to give you, those games that we played, at the office. We played Suriname, we beat them 1-0. We played Barbados, we beat them 2-0. We played USA, we drew. We played El Salvador, we beat them 1-0. We played Canada, we beat them 1-0. We played Costa Rica, we drew. We beat them 1-0. And Mexico, that last game, we drew 0-0. So when you really look at it, only just a few teams came to the office and picked up a points. Mexico and US as two big guns, top teams in CONCACAF region. But we didn't concede a goal at home. We did not concede a goal at home. I'm looking at it right now. We didn't concede any goal at home, in that World Cup qualifier. So we need to make the office a fortress back again. Only 2 games we drew. We only dropped 4 points at home. We dropped 4 points. So we need to have that home record again. We need to be that team that whenever you walk through the office, you see a sea of yellow. You see 40,000 people in the stadium. We haven't witnessed that for a long time. And that's what we need to build back as a fan base at the national stadium. You need to get back people in the office knowing that yes, the fans coming out, the players seeing the sea of yellow. You see the arms, we see the thing that I was knocking on my watch along. That little plastic thing that you knock together, and the Google Zella, we're going to have to make some noise. We're going to have to create that bond amongst us as fans, especially playing at the office, and it's going to be needed. Trust me, it's going to be needed. And those 2 games, especially the game against the Dominican Republic at home, we need to make them be scared. We need to see at least start off with 20,000 people in the national stadium, the first World Cup qualifier game. We're very anticipating about that game and qualify for this World Cup. But again, in 2022, the home record continue. 3-1 to Honduras, El Salvador 1-0, St. Vincent 2-0, Trinidad 1-0, Honduras 1-1, USA 0-0, and then we finally lost to Mexico and lose to Costa Rica. Our last 2 games, in that our last 2 games at home, in the build up to 2000 qualifier. And I remember that game like yesterday. I remember that game, the game that we lost against Mexico in the office. A game that we should have won, but it was the star man Blanco himself, and they scored their own goal, and themselves. I think it was a defender, Morales. And I remember that game. I was a youngster. My dad, bring me to that game. I think that was one of my first game that I can remember. I think that I can remember in that World Cup qualifier at home. It was very jam-packed national stadium at the office. So we need to build back something like that. We need to build back the fortress. We need more promotions. We need a lot more from the federation to draw the people out attention. We need entertainment, half time. We need a lot more. We need entertainment before the game start, half-time entertainment, and after game entertainment, so it can hold the people, Jamaican people. Whatever it has to do with party, we're going to be there. So it's going to be really good, but it's down to the federation to get those promotion and get the entertainment segment up. As a lot of entertainers in Jamaica support the reggae boys. But moving on, when you look at it, we're going to go against teams, because when you look on the World Cup qualifier group, I'm going to pull up the World Cup qualifier group on my phone right now and take a quick look at it. Let's just give me a moment, to pull up this World Cup group. I'm going to tell you about some teams. So the World Cup groups, the The second round consists in a Group A of Honduras with Cuba, Cayman, Bermuda, and Antigua and Barbuda. 2 teams will qualify. So Honduras will be there as a Central American team. Bahamas, in the same group as Costa Rica, Grenada, St. Kitts, Trinidad. Look, Costa Rica will get out of that zone. Again, another Central American team. Another team that people should look out for, Curacao, in our group with Barbados, Aruba, Haiti, and St. Lucia. Look, more likely, Haiti and Curacao might get out of that zone. Only team probably give them a look at threat is probably Aruba, because of their affiliate, yeah. But look, again, why I pick, this group, again, calling out these teams, Haiti and Curacao, Curacao is getting players from the Netherlands. They're getting stronger and stronger, especially playing away to Curacao, so next zone, with Nicaragua and Panama, they have Montserrat, Guyana, and Belize. They're going to get out of that zone. You remember the last time I think we went down to Nicaragua, I think we lost down there, so Panama, again, a team that, we don't really have good results in their stadium in Panama City. So those teams will get out of that zone. Jamaica zone with Guatemala and Guatemala, Dominican Republic, and Dominica. Again, we and Guatemala should get out of that zone. So you see, all those Central American teams will advance. A zone like El Salvador, Puerto Rico, St. Vincent, and Suriname. Those teams will advance. Yeah, those Central American teams will advance. And when you look at our record around Central American teams, away, to Panama, our last 3 games, we haven't won there. We lost 3-2, we lost 2-0, and we drew 0-0. So at Guatemala home, the last time we go there, all those results is World Cup qualifier games, right? So it's just World Cup qualifier games. So Guatemala, the last time we went there, we lost 2-1 in World Cup qualifier play. Costa Rica, we don't win. We don't really win in World Cup qualifier and Central American turf. So we're going to have to be a little bit more better. We're going to have to be a lot more positive. We're going to have to be a little more preparation. We're going to have to be on top notch. These teams will come at us. These teams are Central American teams. They will create an atmosphere whenever we go there. Look at when Honduras beat Mexico in the stadium. Look at the atmosphere they generate. Look at, I think it's El Salvador, Guatemala. Whenever these teams play at home, they generate a massive fan base. So we need to do things like that at home in the office. Let the office be the office again. When you walk in, it's not somewhere you want to stay for the next 90 minutes. So you get that psychological battle, of winning the game before you even walk out on the field. So, we need to get things like that. But, so the World Cup, looking at it, the round that we in the second round, the top 2 teams will qualify for the next round, and you will have 12 teams. 12 teams will shape up in 3 groups, and the top in 3 groups, and then the top 3 teams in each group will qualify for the World Cup, and then the best 2 runner-ups, will qualify for the Interconfed playoff. So the Jamaica should get there. We have too much quality not to go to the next World Cup. We don't have any excuse, but bless up.